Vikings are looking to keep their playoff hopes alive with the win here in Detroit. Detroit is looking to take out their anger after how their Week 17 game ended against Dallas Cowboys on the Vikings and potentially hope that the Cowboys lose and they can move up to the number 2 seed. But also depending as well with Philadelphia, if they win or lose. I'm not sure how those tiebreakers work, but either way, they're guaranteed at least a 3 seed. Potentially could move up to the 2 seed here in this Week 18 matchup. Brian and I, we're going to break down the game and also provide our predictions. But before we do that, real quick, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, ring the bell to get notified when we create more content. We are going to be making a bunch of off-season content here for mock drafts for both the Vikings and the Lions as well. So like, subscribe, get notified when that happens. Ryan, this game here, we're going to talk about the Lions here in a second. But Minnesota, they do still have a path to the playoffs here. If they win, Green Bay has to lose. Either Tampa Bay or New Orleans have to lose as well. And also, I think Seattle has to lose. So not totally out of the question. I'm trying to remember if there's anything that I missed there. So not the worst one. Like keep your playoff hopes alive, technically.
Yeah, but it's less than a 5% chance, probably.
I've seen it where it's like, hey, these two teams have to tie. And I'm like, okay, come on, how often is that going to happen? So it's not the worst. And
just ask Brendan Staley.
Just ask Brandon Staley. But like to be honest, though, you go and look at it. Atlanta could beat New Orleans. Chicago could beat Green Bay. Arizona just upset Philadelphia, so they could beat
Seattle.
It's not out of question, and they just had a good, hard-fought game against Detroit just a couple weeks ago. Nick Mullins was the QB. I'm going to project that Nick Mullins will be the QB again. He at least can sling it. Jaron Hall, I think it's just not – he still just needs some more development. I think that he could potentially – I think his best is going to be serviceable backup in the NFL. So I think he's just going to need a little bit more time to develop here, considering the situation that he was kind of thrusted in. But Minnesota now, very, very slim chances. 5%. I'll go with that. I think we're being very liberal with that 5%. But so what do you think they have to do to come out victorious here against Detroit? Is it to hire Brad Allen and his officiating crew for this game?
I mean, possibly with the way that
I don't think they'll be allowed
last week.
I don't think they'll be allowed in Ford Field.
No.
I do not think they'll be allowed.
And the only reason that they would be allowed is for a crucifixion. I mean, holy cow, that is. That is one of the worst calls I've seen, I think, ever. I mean, that's up there with the Saints' no pass interference in the NFC Championship game. Especially not even like the Colts game with the pass interference call against the Browns this year that everyone was up in arms about. That game, while it mattered, it was probably going to be over a wild card spot. This was over the 2 seed, and it eliminated the Lions from being able to be in contention for the number 1 seed. Like, and that to me is just horrible in the fact that is allowed to be called. Yeah. So
no, it's so frustrating too, just because. And there's been so many people that have talked about this on the internet, but it's there's so much that goes into these games, and there's going to be bad pass interference. There's going to be bad judgment calls, and I can deal with those. I can deal with those. As bad as that Colts Browns pass interference call was, I think like week 8 or week 9. And we also remember that too because Dad's a Colts fan, Mom's is a Browns fan, and all of her brothers were in town. We were watching the game. We were laughing really hard at our dad's reaction. But I can almost still I can laugh at that just because it is absurd. But then it was a fundamental thing. It was so black and white. Like it is part of just the routine of the play, and the players did everything right. And then I forget the guy's name, the ESPN official who talked to Skip Bayless afterwards. Then for him to say the clear onus is on the
Gene Steratore.
No. I like Gene. Gene has said dozens of times this year, actually. And I think a lot of Lions fans and Vikings fans can agree with this. But every time Gene Seratore's come on and they make a bad call, he's like, "Yeah, no, that's the wrong call. Like, I don't see what they're doing here." Gene Seratore seems to say how it is. Yeah. Whoever this guy was that was with Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, he was like, "It's 100% on the players to make sure that the official knows." I'm like, bull crap. I don't agree with that at all. The players did everything correct, and you can even see officials nodding at him. Jared Goff's pointing over. Dan Campbell even told them to play beforehand, but then now I have seen some reports, which I can't confirm, that Brett Allen wasn't in that pregame meeting about that play specifically. it's so frustrating as a fan because we all invest so much time and money into this. And by money, I mean, like, I'm not even just talking about betting. I mean, I would say money. I mean, like, I'm investing my time to watch this game, to watch your product when, shoot, we could be making more YouTube content to bring in more money, or I could go be investing,
Yeah.
not investing, but just doing other things with my time
Yeah.
where, yeah, and that's going to be the crap that's pulled on the field. That's what's so frustrating with that game that goes on, or that call. And if it was a one-off, I think on this whole season, like if that was the one bad call that, or the one time everybody thought that the NFL was rigged this year, I think I could give them the benefit of the doubt. But man, it seems like it is week in and week out of just these horrible officiating and just this like hashtag rigged. It's like I normally wasn't a firm believer in that, and maybe in this case, I think I can make an argument why they wouldn't want it to be rigged. But I can definitely see the argument because, like, just how do you mess that call up? Like, how do you
Oh,
mess that call up? And then you don't say I'm sorry. Like, then you don't say I'm sorry. I messed up.
yeah, yeah. That to me is like there's overwhelming evidence, and I know we're just kind of harping on this game, but I'm picking the Lions. But
Yeah.
like there's overwhelming evidence that the Lions went through the proper procedures, and his response was 70 reported, not 68, and it's like we literally have video of you talking to 68 and then going and telling the defense that
I
that's
also
at least somebody reported.
I also think as well, if you look at the situation that comes in, Dan Skipper comes in and he's playing right tackle now.
Yeah,
I didn't get this actually at first, but Panay Sewell also walks over and says he's eligible because he moves over to the tight end spot.
yeah,
And then that's when Taylor Decker walks over as well and says, like, I'm also eligible as well. So they have two eligible linemen, which is totally legal.
yeah.
It's only
Well,
legal then as well for Taylor Decker. He can't
only
be
one tackle can be legal, and Panay Sewell is lined up as a tight end.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Okay. I see what you're saying now.
yeah,
But that's where it's like, why can't we go back and review it and be like, no, you said 70 reported. We're like, no, we're not. Like, let's logically look at the play. Why would we do that? And then have Panay Sewell line up right next to him, covering him as a tight end. And then there's another receiver covering him. And the ball and the play specifically goes to Taylor Decker. Like, that's the thing to me where it's just mind-boggling, and just super frustrating that the NFL keeps pulling this crap. Sorry, we normally don't swear. I guess crap is technically a swear word, but it really irks me because it was such a fun game to watch, and so many great games have been ruined this year by clear, obvious missed calls or clear, obvious horrible calls. And then there's like, no, from the NFL, it's like we did nothing wrong. Officiating has never been has never been better, and it's just it just turns people away. It just really turns people away.
And the thing for me that's really frustrating is this is a $100 billion organization. Like they could easily just put a seventh sky judge in the box and just be like, all right, you're watching every single play. Eighth.
Pretty sure it's 8. I can't remember how many refs are on the field.
I thought there were only 6, but I could be wrong.
No, there's 2. There's 2 behind the QB, 1 like 5 yards in the defense, like with the linebackers, 2 side judges, and then I'm pretty sure 2 deep judges. So that I think is 7.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Fact check.
Then an eighth judge. But for me, like it's just insane how bad some of the calls have been because. Like they just need to put a guy up in there to tell everybody how stupid they are that they've missed these calls. Like for the Browns pass interference, he could just radio down and be like, "Hey idiots, that ball literally almost took out a cameraman." Like, don't like that's not pass interference. It's not catchable.
Yeah.
So
just when it comes to everything here, if the NFL is kind of like almost like you see a rebuilding team and like you see them moving in the right direction. Like if they were like, okay, we're going to have full-time referees, and like next year this stuff kept happening, I could at least tell myself, okay, at least they're moving in the right direction of having full-time referee employees. It's a year-round job to make sure that everything is perfect for them. You can maybe even I don't know if they'd want to do this, but partner up then with the USFL, XFL, which actually I think now is the UFL. I think the United Football League, if I'm not mistaken. But so then they still get year-round training and then use the same guys, and it could be a feeder system then up to the NFL or partner with the NCAA. Then they can go and do spring training games or go do spring practices as well to keep just keep them going and learning and training so that you can get guys like Brad Allen out of these types of games. Like the worst thing that's going to happen to Brad Allen is that he's just not going to referee in the playoffs. Is he going to referee next year? I don't want him refereeing any Falcons game. Not like it would matter. We turn the ball over anyways. But still, it's like it's just the overall integrity of the game. And everybody's upset because we all care. America, America loves the game of football. It's also, especially too, with everything going on right now within these past couple of years, we need football. We want to be able to watch just good football games instead of have some meritocracy go on and be like the best team won today. And not have these conspiracy theories or rigged conspiracies, which frankly seem true when crap like this happens.
No, yeah, for sure. And especially, I mean, Dallas, I think, is getting more hate than I think they should because they really had nothing to do with it. It's just the fact that it happened to Dallas. Everybody's pissed about.
The hate that Dallas is getting, especially Mike McCarthy, is like never should have come to that situation. Why are you throwing the ball? Like you have control of the clock and everything, and then you're throwing the ball. You give then Jared Goff and that team 101 seconds to move down the field. Like it's still one of the best offenses in the league, and then you go into prevent defense. Like they're going to move the ball off the field pretty easily. So that's where I think the hate is coming in. And then also, too, it's typical Dallas stuff as well.
Yeah, well, Dallas is the most hated team in the NFL. The Patriots are second. Chiefs, I think, now are rising in that.
I think you can make an argument. Chiefs are second. I think people don't hate the Patriots. They're just like, all right, good, we can forget about you guys for a little bit. True. So.
But let's quickly talk about this game for a second. Vikings, like we said in the beginning, outside chance at getting a playoff spot. Lions are guaranteed. They've already locked up the division. They're guaranteed the 2 or the 3 seed. However, they are no longer in contention for a first round bye. And yeah, I mean, for me, the big thing here is the Lions. They still have something to play for. The Vikings still have something to play for. But like you said, I think the Lions are gonna take out some anger, I think, on the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to come in and just put on a stomping of a performance. One of the big things is I think the Lions will be able to run the ball really well against the Vikings. Just with that lack of talent on the defensive side, they really have a pass rush because Brian Flores is just so aggressive. And I think they're decent at stopping the run, but I just think the Lions are going to be able to put a hurting on them pretty good, and then kind of eliminating the Vikings from the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm also going to go with the Lions here as well. I have a feeling that guys that might be a little bit banged up. I see like James Williams right now. His name's in red according to our lad, so need to monitor his status as well. Oh well, I remember because he had that big catch and then he actually had to walk off the field. I have to definitely see his status, kind of see overall how healthy he's going to be. But he probably will rest this game. I could also see maybe like some guys being on a pitch count, like Amon-Ra might be on a pitch count.
Jameson Williams maybe.
Well, yeah, as I just said, Jameson Williams.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Probably won't play. So just something to monitor, just something to watch throughout the week. But even then, though, too, still feel that Minnesota is just going to be able to – Detroit's just going to be able to pull this one out at home, want to win a Week 18, give themselves a shot to potentially be the 2 seed if Dallas loses. I'm not sure with Philadelphia. I'm pretty sure even if Philadelphia loses, I think Detroit becomes number 2. But I have to if they win, Detroit still is the number 2. But that's something I need to double check on.
Yeah. Also, stay in rhythm for the playoffs. Just because they will have to play a game in the wild card weekend. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I do think the Vikings definitely have more of a chance than I guess alluded to, but I just think the Lions come out ahead in this one. We're both taking the Lions, so let's go ahead and wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup, and on that, we will see you guys next time.